Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Escape Pod. Thank you so much for escaping with us. That's Andrew, and I'm Alex.
And as always, with great power comes great chicken jockey ability.
Chicken jockey!
We'll get to that.
We will.
We got a banger episode lined up for you.
I think so.
We're answering your questions for one thing.
Yep.
They're all submitted by the patrons. Thank you guys.
Yes.
We're also doing an agree disagree, my favorite segment.
Yes.
And those are always bangers.
Yes.
And then we also have our Daredevil episode 8 review.
Correct. And that's a little 20-minute one. That's going to be at the end of the episode.
Yep.
That one's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. And patrons already got that. They got that the night of the episode. So they got that early. And they also got my whole reaction to the whole episode.
Correct.
So
which they always get every episode.
Every episode. I think I'd skip.
Oh, you skipped one or two?
But they're randomly on there.
What
are we starting with?
I was thinking we could actually start with, I've got a bone to pick with you.
Excellent.
This is something that I don't really know about.
It's the name, it's point of the game.
Why is it always your face on the big screen? It's never mine. Why can't I be the big one every once in a while? There you go.
Are you happy?
I am.
Little child?
Look really good.
Yeah, of course you do.
Thank you.
Yeah, anytime.
Good start. Okay.
What do you want to start with?
Let's start with the fan segment.
Okay. Well, no.
Okay, you want to start with agree?
I want to start with agree disagree. Is that okay?
Yes.
So I just thought of something that will help me and editing if we do this first.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Thanks.
Let me just boot it up.
So,
what's up?
You still haven't seen The Greatest Showman.
I still haven't seen The Greatest Showman.
This is a problemo.
Uh-huh.
Give me a quick high-low Buffalo. Quick. Like 30 second. Go.
Low is the tariffs. I'm very nervous about the future.
But they're gone now, kind of, apparently.
I don't think so, especially with China, which, I'm not a big fan of China. But,
They gave us Neza too, dude.
You're right. So maybe I am a big fan of China. No, I'm not. So I just don't know how to feel about it. Nervous about it for sure. That's my low. My high is I have the best job in the world with the best boss in the world and an unbelievable community that we love so much. And my Buffalo is I got a new phone.
We both got new phones.
We both got new phones. Part of it was because of the tariffs. We thought they were going to go up in price. It's because I've had a phone with 128 gigabytes for the longest time, and I would just constantly run out of storage, much to your chagrin. And I'd just have to delete apps to post on TikTok. And now I got the most storage I could get on I think I got like 500
3,
gigs.
2.
Gotcha.
This table sucks. Well, it's because I took a bar out of it to make it easier to... It's my fault. Can you pull it a little towards you? Great. What's your Buffalo?
My phone. New phone.
I thought that was the high.
No, my high was we've got the best community in the world.
Oh, my bad.
And I've got a good boss. Your quick high-low Buffalo.
High. I think I might kidnap people this week.
Nice.
That might be fun. I ordered some stuff to become Muse.
Yes.
And do a fun video where I do Daredevil Born Again trivia and then some sort of online trivia challenge for you guys to do and stuff. So that'll be fun. Maybe. Hold me to that. If I don't do that, hound me about it. That'll help me do it. Low.
I'm just really glad I'm up there.
You like looking at yourself?
Uh-huh.
I'm glad. My low is I'm hungry right now.
Yeah. I'm hungry too.
Yeah, we're going to eat after this for sure.
For sure.
And then Buffalo, they sent me a Goofy movie package.
Oh, yeah. It's got a jacket. It says your name on it. That's very nice.
A good movie. 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
Agree, disagree. Let's do it.
You ready? Wilson Bethel's Bullseye would be a great addition to the Thunderbolts.
3, 2, 1.
Disagree. Nice work, Andrew. No. I feel pretty strongly about this.
Yeah.
A lot of people want him to be a Thunderbolt. I think the point of the Thunderbolts is that they're likable.
Yeah. They're
like good guy villains.
He's way too evil.
Yes.
like he shot... Spoiler alert, he shot Foggy, and he also just, loves killing people.
He just kills people all the time.
Let's go through them. Ghost was literally just trying to survive, and she wasn't murdering people.
Correct.
Red Guardian is hilarious. And Red Guardian.
It doesn't matter how many people he's killed. David Harbour's so likable.
Bucky was forced to do it.
Yes, he was brainwashed. Now he's a congressman.
Yelena was also tortured as a Black Widow person, and also hasn't just assassinated people that we've seen, at least.
Also, the opportunity for her with good motivation in her head to kill Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye, and she didn't do it.
Correct.
So showing that she clearly has more of a conscience than most Black Widows, probably.
Who else?
Taskmaster is like brainwashed.
Yeah, all these people.
And John Walker was like a good soldier, and then his friend died, and then he decapitated somebody with the shield. But that was kind of an accident.
Yeah, in the middle of a war, you know what I mean? A little bit of an accident.
Yeah.
You decapitate someone here and there when you have superpowers.
I think there's plenty of people in the MCU that I would like to see join the Thunderbolts, okay? I think that Blonsky's Abomination is a good enough guy in She-Hulk and Shang-Chi that I could see him in this team. A big one that's missing is Baron Zemo. Zemo is so likable, especially in the Falcon Winter Soldier show with the dancing and everything. Like, he could totally be in the Thunderbolts. I just don't. I think Wilson Bethel's Bullseye is so evil.
He's top 3 like evilest characters in the MCU at this point, perhaps.
You would certainly make the argument that he's more evil than Thanos.
Yeah, like Thanos killed more people, but like he was at least somewhat logically cognitive. Like had a reason for it.
Yeah.
Wilson Bethel just like
it's nuts.
Is nuts.
Yep. Yeah. No.
Sorry, not Wilson Bethel. Poindexter.
Yeah, Dex. Yeah.
Bullseye.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's a psycho in real life. That'd be crazy.
Wilson Bethel, to my knowledge, is a pretty good guy.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
But no.
Very handsome. You think he's handsome?
Yeah, look at what other villain. I'm sure there are. I'm sure we're missing some.
Of course.
But like none of the Spider-Man villains are that evil.
No. You could have Vulture in the Thunderbolts easy.
Yeah.
No problem.
You could have Jake Gyllenhaal.
No, you couldn't.
Why the frick not?
He's evil. He's evil. He's too evil to be in the Thunderbolts.
Vulture pulled a gun on a 15-year-old. But
he didn't kill him. And then when he had the opportunity...
He vaporized that guy. Because he was...
On accident. He said, I didn't know what that did.
All right, that's a fair point. Why? Because he used drones? Release all the drones now!
Yeah, like he wanted to actively kill people just for fame. Like that's a terrible...
Sounds like a Thunderbolt to me.
No. Like, let's think about the motivations here. Like, John Walker's just doing the best for his country and getting revenge for his buddy. Like, Ghost is just trying to live. Red Guardian, it's for the glory of Russia. I guess that's kind of similar. Even Vulture, like, he's just doing it to make ends meet for his family. And he feels wronged by the man. Like, Jake Gyllenhaal's just doing it for fame.
Nah, he's doing it because he was wronged.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Still not as evil as Poindexter.
No, not even close. So he should not be in the Thunderbolts.
No. Agree or disagree, Hat Guy should be in the Thunderbolts.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Sure.
Yeah.
I would love to die.
You're evil enough. You know what I mean?
But I'm not evil enough.
But you're likable.
I don't think I'm that likable.
You're like the Weasel of the Suicide Squad. You know what I mean? Like, you'll be in there and you'll die like immediately because you can't swim and you'll just be like...
That's one of my favorite scenes in that movie.
It's good.
That scene is hilarious.
They should cast you as Weasel. They won't have to CGI as much.
Nice.
The
eyes. You think I nail it?
Yeah, and the neck. And the way he walks.
Right. For those of you that haven't seen The Suicide Squad, the James Gunn one from 2020, that scene is there's this animal thing. It's gross and awful to look at, and Pete Davidson is scared because he thinks it's a werewolf, and they call it an Afghan hound, and just every scene with that character is hysterical. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
A Super Smash Brothers movie would make $2 billion at the box office, i.e. be a top 7 or 8 highest grossing movie of all time.
3, 2, 1.
I understand why you're saying that, but I think I'm going to have to disagree.
You are wrong.
I know why you say that, but like, we'll get to it. The Minecraft movie is going to make a ton of money. And the Mario Brothers movie made a ton of money. And the Sonic movies make really good money.
Now combine them all.
I know why we think that, but
Infinity War of Nintendo.
Is the Smash Brothers property individually bigger or as big than any of the properties individually? I think not.
No, but it doesn't matter.
I think it does matter.
Sure.
Like, I understand, if I'm a parent that isn't in tune with Nintendo or games or whatever, Sonic, my son plays the Sonic games, I'm going to take him to that movie. Or Mario, my daughter plays Mario Party with us as a family, or Mario Kart with us as a family, or something. I don't think that Smash Brothers, which is what they would call the movie, the Super Smash Brothers movie or something, I don't think that property resonates with the general audience parents that are taking their kids to Mario or Sonic.
Well, the kids could just be like, this is Mario and Sonic.
Yes. But how many kids are doing that? I think more parents...
I am.
Sure. But I think more parents are taking their kids to movies that either the kid doesn't know about or the kid has asked to go to that the parent knows.
I think if they do a universe and they connect the movies and they do phase 1, 2, and 3 and they bring in Thanos, I think they got a chance.
Yeah, if they do connect it and hint at it with post-credit scenes, they have a better chance. I agree with that. But I still think it's a long shot. What do you think about my rebuttal to your point? Or do you think I'm just full of nonsense?
Usually, I tend to think that.
Yes.
And I think this is a scenario in which I still believe that. Yes. I'm just kidding. No, I see what you're saying. Like, Super Smash Bros. Doesn't carry the weight and name as Mario, but if they handle it well enough and all of these characters are together, I think it could have some motion.
It could.
Just like this podcast. The Escape Pod podcast movie is going to make $1 billion.
No.
3, 2, 1. No. It's also never going to exist.
You're right.
Yeah. Maybe a documentary.
I would do a documentary. I would do a doc. Would you do like a series, like an HBO Max, an Apple TV Plus?
We're not interesting enough for multiple episodes. Just give us an hour and a half.
Nice. Gotcha. This is a good one. DreamWorks has better villains than Pixar.
Charles Muntz, suck my balls.
3, 2, 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of don't think it's close.
It's tough to, yeah, no, it's not. It's tough to beat Tai Lung,
Lord Shen.
Death.
Thank you.
And then apparently the one from Ice Dude, Jack Frost, Guardians, Rise of the Guardians.
Yeah. Pitch Black.
Pitch Black is supposed to be really good.
Yep.
I haven't seen it.
We haven't seen that movie.
And also the Kung Fu Panda 3.
Kai.
J.K. Simmons.
Kai. He's fun.
And Kung Fu Panda 4, the Chameleon was great.
I disagree.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, are you being serious right now? But yeah, like they're just consistently like, and what are other DreamWorks movies were big? Oh, the How to Train Your Dragon villains are all fun.
Yeah. And then Megamind, that guy.
Yep.
Not Seth Rogen. What the frick is his name?
Yep.
Come on, we can do it.
Jonah Hill. Yep. Titan. There we go.
Oh, you're a villain, all right. Just not a super one.
Yep.
Such a good line.
So good.
What's the difference?
I just think that movie's a tad overrated.
Presentation. That one scene is goated.
Sure.
We should watch it.
I just kind of
I'll watch it with the patrons.
I feel like it's boring throughout.
I feel like you're boring.
That was rude.
You insulted
Who are the
Megamind.
best Pixar villains?
Charles Muntz, for sure.
No.
Syndrome?
Ernesto de la Cruz.
Sure. Syndrome?
Syndrome is number 1. It's not really a villain in Nemo.
Lotso.
Lotso's
really good.
These are good villains.
These are pretty good.
Maybe we spoke too soon.
No, I still think they got it.
What are bad Pixar villains? You're going to say Sir Axelrod and Professor Zundap. I would disagree with both of those. I think they're both fun.
Yeah, they're super layered and interesting.
Chick Hicks is a fun villain.
He is.
He's low stakes. Oh, what's the fast guy from Cars 3? Everybody talks about him.
The electric card? I don't
Cruz
know.
Ramirez is the good one, the girl. But
yeah.
What's his name? Jackson Storm. Come on.
Nice work.
Come on.
I'll clink you for that.
Thank you.
Nice work.
Apparently he's fun. Again, I haven't seen the movie.
What the frick?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I'm the goat. I just know things.
You're not a goat for not watching all the Pixar movies. I don't think that gives you goat status.
Does Pixar have more bad villains than
Sure.
DreamWorks? I don't know. We'll move on. It's a good one.
Cricket. Though. What's the cricket? Hopper? Hopper's good.
Hopper's fun. Yeah,
I like
Hopper's a good
Hopper.
villain.
Sid is good.
Stinky Pete is a good villain.
Uh-oh.
That's what I'm saying. There are some good Pixar villains. But there are
None of them reach the highs
of Death and Tai Lung and Lord Shen. That's the top 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I love Lotso. I love Ernesto de la Cruz. I love Syndrome.
But I can't put them above.
None of those guys are above Death or
Yeah.
the 2 Kung Fu Panda villains. No.
They got the gold, silver, and bronze.
Yeah. That wins them this race. Hat Guy or Alex should watch Stranger Things this year.
3, 2, 1.
Why?
I like to enjoy things.
And you don't want me to ruin it.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. Do you think I ruined a little bit Daredevil Born Again for you?
That would open up an hour-long conversation.
Okay, let's have it.
No.
Why would it be an hour-long conversation?
Yes.
Okay, see? That's not an hour-long conversation.
Yeah, I shortened it just a little bit.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you. I think you'd be nice to season 1.
From my understanding is I'm going to adore season 1. And that may be enough for me. I'm very nice to shows. I may even think that season 2 is awful and be like, but I love these characters so much.
The characters are great.
I say that all the time.
The characters are really good.
And I've heard that season 2, even though it's bad, it introduces characters and introduces plot lines that pay off in later seasons that are really good. That's been explained to me. Like, you don't like Steve in season 1 or something, but then you like him in season 2, and then he's one of the best characters in season 3.
Yeah, he gets a little Zuko treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's fun. Like, I think I'm going to be nicer to Stranger Things than you think. I should watch it before the new show comes out.
You're going to watch 4 seasons?
Probably. I watch shows way quicker than you.
Well, everyone does.
Yeah. You watch an episode. You watch half an episode every month.
That's crazy. That's not an exaggeration. Unless it's my job, but like I'm reacting to stuff and I got to watch 3 more episodes of Andor.
Before the freaking premiere, which is today as of when they're seeing it.
Which is 4 days.
Spoiler alert, we're going to the Andor world premiere. It's like a launch event. It's probably less than a premiere, but there is a red carpet. Some of the cast, I think, will be there. But, big thing, I got invited.
Yay!
Thank you.
Yay, Alex.
Thank you, everybody. We love you. Would it be possible without you guys?
Exactly.
Love you. Okay.
Uh-oh.
I love this.
Okay.
I love this because I think this is a discussion we're going to have.
Excellent.
Avengers Doomsday should open with the scene of Doom ripping out King Thanos' spine just to show how powerful Doom actually is and pose him as a real threat, since the biggest big bad we have known up to this point was Thanos. Three, 2, 1. I love you. I love you so much. Give me some. I feel so strongly about this. Yeah, it's a great iconic moment from the comics. First of all, do it in Secret Wars because it's in Secret Wars. First of all, that's a big thing for me. It should not open with that at all. That's not what we should be doing here. I get that we do that with villains where Thanos kicks the crap out of Hulk at the start of Infinity War and this and that. Like, I get that that's what we do with villains or whatever, but like, Thanos in the MCU has been bitched to oblivion since Infinity War and Endgame. He's a pussy in What If, the T'Challa episode, where T'Challa just tells him to become good, and then he gets wrecked by Benicio del Toro, the Collector, and then he gets sliced in half immediately with 5 of the 6 Infinity Stones by Infinity Ultron before he's Infinity Ultron. Like, Thanos is just... And King Thanos is going to be the villain of the Avengers ride at Avengers Campus, so he's going to lose that. Thanos, since Infinity War and Endgame, has just been bitched. I don't think, sorry, Len.
I was about to say.
I know. Sorry.
That was 3 in a row. We're not even trying anymore?
No,
What's going on?
I'm sorry.
Unbelievable. Apologize.
Apologize to God. I'm sorry.
All right, thank you.
That's like the thing is, it's like, how many times is this guy going to be a loser? That's my take on it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think...
I ask myself that every morning.
How many times you're going to be a loser?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't think...
I never come up with a good answer.
That's really sad.
It's okay.
I just don't think...
It's always more than I thought it was going to be. It's so sad.
So sad.
It's so sad. No, yeah, and part of the reason I disagreed is because, like, I want them to introduce him better. Like,
so much better. I love you. I do.
Like Thanos, his introduction gradually was so... And, like, obviously we're not going to get that because we have 2 more movies before Doomsday or whatever the frick.
Correct.
So, like, it's not going to happen, but, like, I guess that's a great way to, a shocking way to introduce him. But, like, yeah, leave Thanos out of it and also, like, treat Doom with more respect in how you gradually introduce him and make him this menacing figure where you shouldn't have to do something that shocking as the first thing. I feel like it should have more time, effort, and respect put on his name.
I completely agree with that. And you think we're getting him introduced in Fantastic Four?
That would be sick.
He has to be.
That would be the correct decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This isn't an agree or disagree, but I have to say this, and I really want to hear your perspective on it, okay? Obviously, the Chairs announcement, yes, we're still talking about it. It was the biggest thing this year. The Chairs announcement for the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Avengers Doomsday, the cast, was a huge success for Marvel. It got X amount of views, whatever. I realized something while we were in Las Vegas at CinemaCon. That wasn't just a brilliant marketing move for the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Avengers Doomsday the way that it obviously was to everybody. It was a brilliant marketing move for their next 2 movies, Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four First Steps. Why?
Because they have people from that movie in there.
The full casts showing. Those guys were all shown before all the X-Men and everybody like that, showing these movies are going to be integral for Doomsday. You have to see these movies before Doomsday. I think it was a marketing move a la the Captain Marvel pager at the end of Infinity War. I wouldn't be surprised if both of these movies make $1 billion now, in the same way that Captain Marvel made $1 billion off of the back of Infinity War. Ant-Man and the Wasp was not made imperative after Infinity War, but Captain Marvel was, because of the pager and credit scene. That's why that movie made $1 billion. I think the same thing might happen with Thunderbolts or Fantastic Four.
So do you think Fantastic Four is beating Superman and Jurassic World?
No. I think July might just be the biggest post-COVID month for the box office. Right?
That'd be great.
I don't think this year's going to be 2019, but I don't know if we'll ever see a year like 2019 again, but this year is shaping up to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Next year even better.
Yeah, no, that'll definitely help.
Yeah. What do you think about
Those
that?
2 movies.
Did I cook?
You cooked. You stopped cooking with the they're definitely both making $1 billion thing.
Okay, sure.
I don't think Thunderbolts is going to make $1 billion.
What if it's great?
I don't think it's going to make $1 billion.
All right.
Who the frick cares about Ghost?
What if it's got a crazy end credit scene? What if RDJ's in that movie?
I think it will make some movie. I think it'll make some money. That'd be crazy if it makes $1 billion, dude.
Prime Marvel, that movie would have made $1 billion, no problem.
Yeah, maybe. If it's in between Infinity War and Endgame, sure. But again, I don't think the motion right now
I'm
for
with you.
Doomsday is enough to carry Thunderbolts cross $1 billion. I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe Fantastic Four.
I think Fantastic Four at this point might be a shoo-in for $1 billion. I'm not going to lie to you. Remember It, by the way, just turned a year old. Remember It is the best episode of superhero television we have ever had.
3, 2, 1. Yeah. Yeah, it's really good.
It's really special.
It's really good.
I kind of look at that show a little bit disrespectfully.
What?
I remember it and I'm like, oh. I remember back to that show and thank you. It took you a minute.
Uh-huh.
I remember back to that show and I'm like, oh, is it good or is it carried by episode 5? It's great. It's phenomenal and I'm stupid to ever think that. But episode 5 is so spectacular that is how I think about it sometimes.
Sometimes I remember it.
Nice.
And I think what you thought of maybe it was episode 5 carried it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I think, yeah, it was.
You really think so?
No, I mostly just said that to piss you off. No, I think a little bit. A little bit.
But the first 3 episodes are so phenomenal.
No, the show is obviously amazing overall. And
yeah,
but sometimes I do just a little bit. I think that's true. Just a little bit.
Interesting.
But I still love the whole show.
Yeah. But then I think back of the moments that aren't from episode 5, like the Nightcrawler Wolverine fight. Think about the spectacular animation. But I do think it's the fault of Bastion. I don't think Bastion is a very good villain. And I think that's why some of us remember it not as fondly as when it was coming out. We were like, this is the greatest thing of all time. Still think it's the best MCU project of all time, though. Ooh, this is a good question. Piggybacking off of that one. If we count the Netflix Daredevil season, so if we count the Netflix shows, Daredevil 3, I'm so sorry. I'm going to start again. I'm hungry.
Slightly professional.
If we count the Netflix shows, Daredevil Season 3 is the best thing the MCU has ever done. Agree or disagree? 3, 2, 1. You would take Avengers 1 over it.
Sure. I'd probably take Infinity War over it. I'd probably take Winter Soldier over it.
Okay. Yeah, I think it is. What?
Nothing.
What are you going to say? You're going to take Born Again over it?
No, that's not what I was going to say.
You were going to say that?
That's not what I said.
What were you going to say?
I don't know.
Would you take No Way Home over Daredevil Season 3?
Personally, probably.
Yeah, no, fair. I'm not mad at you for any of these picks. I'm just...
And again, no disrespect to Season 3. Freaking love Season 3.
I think if we count the Netflix shows as MCU, which I don't. Mm-hmm. But if we count them, for me, my favorite MCU projects would be Daredevil Season 3, Daredevil Season 1, then X-Men 97, Infinity War, Civil War, No Way Home, Avengers 1. That's what it would be.
Crazy.
In that order.
Cool.
But we go over this all the time, I'm much more partial to shows than you.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Both of those seasons are great.
Yeah. Oh, this is what we're ending on. And no, we've got 2 more. We're going to end on a more serious one, but this is a fun one. Feel very strongly about this one. Andrew downplays his hotness too much. 3, 2, 1, agree.
Disagree.
You're starting to piss me off.
No. We look at all those pictures because we just had the argument about Chris being the sexiest, right? And we missed a couple. Shout out Cuban, which you got, and Dylan Stark.
Yep.
Also Blake's takes, Blake and Garrett.
Yep, absolutely.
Both attractive.
Yep, very good looking gentlemen.
And
Alex Coleman's a good looking guy.
Someone tagged Danny Mata in there.
Sammy J is very
Sammy
handsome.
J we missed. Yep. Unbelievable. I think I would maybe, after this list, scratch top 10. Maybe.
That's fine. But, you weren't saying that the other day. The other day, you were saying that you're not in the top 10.
No. You compared me to Chris and Dylan.
And I think that's fair.
That's not fair. They're top 5 easily. I'm maybe top 10. Maybe. Everyone we just named, I'm clearly below.
I don't think that's the case. And I think that there are
I'm below Blake. I am below Garrett.
My opinion doesn't necessarily matter here. Your opinion definitely doesn't matter here because you're a freaking idiot. And frankly,
and I'm not hot.
Your humbleness,
double whammy.
Your humbleness does make you more attractive, but at this point, it's getting you. It's aggravating. You're too humble.
Most of the comments.
If David Beckham walked into a room and was just like, "I'm not handsome,"
well, I'm not David Beckham.
I think you're very handsome.
I appreciate that.
There's many people that would say you're the hottest guy in the space.
No, there
is objectively.
Yeah,
you're
but
just
again,
some people's type.
Yeah, sure. I'm a type, but again, if we do the voting thing, I get 5% of the vote.
I just don't think that's the case.
And sure, 5% might be a lot of people if we have a lot of people voting in the poll, but that's still 5%.
I disagreed with you then, and I'm disagreeing with you now.
I'm below Blake, and I'm below Garrett. They are both taller than me. And
the height doesn't matter. There's
does.
Some big gay bear that's going to be obsessed with you.
I understand that, but that does not mean generally I'm taking in more than 5%. I'm below Blake. I'm below Garrett. I'm below Chris. I'm below Cuban. I'm below Sammy.
You haven't even named Dylan.
I'm below Dylan.
I think you're clearly below Dylan.
I'm clearly below Dylan.
Dylan's really hot. Alex, you're below Alex. Alex is so hot.
Coleman?
Nope.
Oh, the other Alex. Yeah, I'm below him.
He's really hot. He's actually number 1. But he's...
So yeah, I'm coming in at maybe 8 or 9 or 10. I think Danny Mata's hotter than me.
You're better looking than Danny Mata. I love you, Danny. You're better looking than Danny Mata.
I don't know about that.
I love Danny, though. And Danny's handsome. Danny's certainly better looking than me.
I think what this conversation shows is just our community's freaking sexy hot,
I can't
dude.
believe we've spent another 2 minutes on how hot everybody is.
Like, it's kind of like we've got some gods in our space.
We do.
Dylan's a god. Chiseled.
Dylan's hot. Dylan's an avid watcher of the podcast too, so even if we don't post this clip, he's gonna see this.
Yeah. So what? You giving me 8 or 9? Spot 8 or 9?
I think there are many people that are putting you in the top 5. I think there's many people that are putting you at 1. Just my opinion doesn't matter here.
But you think the majority would put me in the 5 to 10 range? I think the majority would have 5 people above me.
I don't know if that's the case. I don't know why.
You even admitted that I'm not on the hot scale. I get the cutie pie scale.
Correct.
Which is...
But,
no.
Yes, it's a different scale, but some people, that's their favorite. There are plenty of people that Niall Horan was their favorite member of One Direction.
Yeah.
That's what you are.
Sure, I'll take that. Great, I'm Niall. But, like, you're comparing
cutest,
me to Harry Styles.
You're the cutest guy in the space. You are. You're the cutest guy in the space. And that, Alex is kind of cute.
Yeah.
That's Quiz. He's cute. He's cuter than you. And he's hot.
If we're giving, I would give Blake, Garrett, Dylan, Chris, Alex. I'd give all these people a 9 to a 10 out of 10. I think I'm scratching 7, 8, maybe.
You're not 7 or 8. You're a 9.
That's wild.
This is why they agree or disagree.
You're stupid.
You're downplaying your hotness right now.
7 or 8 is giving me like a solid pat on the back.
If you're a 7 or 8, I'm a 2. Son of a bitch.
No.
Last one.
All right.
If James Gunn and Kevin Feige teamed up to make a Marvel and DC crossover event movie, it would easily be the highest grossing movie of all time. 3, 2, 1. Disagree. I don't think so. I don't think it's easily the highest grossing movie of all time. I think that's a ridiculous statement to make.
Tripping balls, dude. Tripping balls. If they did it during the Infinity Saga.
No, they're doing it now. But DC's hot as hell.
But DC what?
Hot as hell. Like, imagine DC is super hot when they do it.
You're giving DC the benefit of the doubt that they're going to be super hot, and you don't think this could be the highest grossing movie of all time?
I think it could be the highest grossing movie of all time. That statement said easily the highest grossing movie of all time. But we are assuming this is like in 5 to 10 years where inflation will just be at an all-time high. So it'll probably make like $5 billion.
Do they bring back the original cast?
They do everything.
Yeah, what the frick? Superman and Tony Stark are talking? Are you out of control? We got an established Batman, and he's going back and forth with Reed Richards
and Christian Bale.
Bro, no, you're tripping. You're out of your mind.
The budget for that movie would be hilarious.
$1 billion.
More. It would be like a $3 billion.
They would have to make $2 billion to have profit, and they would do it.
Yeah. Yeah, if it happened in like 10 years, it might be the biggest box office just because of inflation. Like, it might make $5 billion.
Well, adjusted for inflation.
Adjusted for inflation, New Hope made like $4 billion.
It's like Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, it's up there as well.
And Titanic is insane.
Yeah. Crazy that Titanic made $2 billion in the 90s.
Unbelievable.
That's heinous.
What's her face?
Kate Winslet.
Boobs.
They'll do it. Was that movie rated R? That movie was definitely rated R. There's no way that movie was rated R.
No.
It wasn't rated R because Deadpool Wolverine's the highest grossing rated R movie. Okay. I feel better. How did they show boobs and it's not rated R?
Maybe they didn't have R yet.
Huh. Crazy.
Maybe they saw her boobs and they're like, we need an R. We need another rating.
Maybe.
I saw her boobs and thought some things as well.
Nice. Did you see Leo's boobs? Leo's the appeal there, not Kate Winslet.
Why? Both and.
Is this improv?
That's yes and.
Fan
segment? Fan segment?
Let's do it.
Where the frick is it?
We didn't do any the thumbnail faces.
Just do it at the end. Well, your microphone's in the way.
Oh.
We only need like 5-10 minutes.
So we're going to do a couple of fan segment questions, and then they'll be on the Patreon.
Yeah, we're going to do
which will be on last Friday's episode, so this episode will already be out. So if you're enjoying the podcast, if you watch the whole episode, and you're not already on the Patreon, we do really welcome you over there. It does really, really help keep the show alive. It's not here without the Patreon, and we love you so much. And
you should just get on your knees.
Oh, this hurts way more than I thought it would.
Please.
Please sign to
No,
the
that-
Patreon. Oh, this is...
Oh, dude, leg day. My quads.
Leg day was today?
It was yesterday, and sometimes it's
Nice,
worse.
You're feeling it today. Yep.
Oh.
I wouldn't know. I don't work out.
Oh. Stretching my groin right now.
Your groin? What's wrong with your groin?
That's part of this right here.
Uh-huh.
It's part of leg day. Abductions. That's the machine. Anyways, as a retail worker, focus, Andrew.
This is involved, right?
As a retail worker, I often have to clean up messes and am appalled by the reactions for the Minecraft movie screenings. Multiple movies have had to have been paused or even canceled in my knowledge because people are standing up, yelling, screaming, and cheering and throwing their food everywhere. It breaks my heart because I know some people will never want to return to a theater if they have to experience that, and I'm curious what y'all think.
I am upset for movie theater workers.
Yeah?
And what it is literally disgusting. Rachel and I and Jake went to a 9:45 screening of the Minecraft movie a week, 2 weeks ago, before this meme has become what it is today. And, I mean, we were being showered in popcorn, and half-eaten Twizzlers were, like, on my face. It was actually gross. Throughout the whole movie, not just Chicken Jockey, not just I Am Steve. And it was annoying and gross. That being said, I think that this meme and memes like this and the Gentle Minions are actively really good for theaters. And a movie like the Minecraft movie,
I don't understand
the
how
early expectations were $80 million opening box office. Then it was $150 million. The opening weekend it made $300 million. It made 3 times the early estimates. How can that not be good for theaters?
Okay, yeah, but you're acting like there's not ways to do memes respectfully. Like,
Sure.
My point is, you can 100% do the meme. You can dress up. I love that. You can shout. You can scream. Like you can, but throwing popcorn. There are people who are like brought live chickens into the theater and were standing on top of each other's shoulders, and like police had to be called. This is not helpful to movie theaters because now movie theaters have to pay for that. Movie theater workers are being absolutely disrespected, and I agree that memes and like the Minion thing and like all of that is great, but if you're taking it to a place where you're not helping theaters, you're just helping yourself by being obnoxious and like showing out and like being like, oh, look at me, I can throw popcorn everywhere because I'm a kid that thinks this is funny. You're not being funny, and I don't think you're helping.
I understand what you're saying.
There's a window in which you can do a meme and be funny and enjoy and celebrate a movie and celebrate movie theaters without forcing workers to come in and clean up for an hour at a time or cancel screenings or call the police because you're being obnoxious. And if you don't see the difference in that, I don't know how to talk about it. Like,
I kind of feel like this is what I wanted to say about this whole situation, which is I feel the Minecraft movie, I understand people that say that it's bad for theaters. We're going to separate the nonsense that everybody's pulling when they say Chicken Jockey. We're going to separate that real quick. Because a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, we're never going to get a non-IP movie again. Nothing is going to be original anymore. The memes are going to be part of movies marketing going forward, all this stuff, right? And that I agree with. But so what I wanted to say is actually the Minecraft movie has opened my eyes where I think that movie theaters should have special screenings where stuff like this is encouraged. And kind of like, you have rage rooms where you just throw shit. I think that this kind of behavior and stuff like this, yeah, it's frustrating and unnecessary. But if you have 3 hours in between screenings instead of the usual 20 minutes, which is terrible for the workers, and you have a special place where you can do this, that could encourage more kids to go to theaters. Right? Kids are doing this. Right, yes, they think it's funny. Kids think it's funny. In the same way that the devious licks thing on TikTok a couple years ago they thought was funny when they were just removing sinks from bathrooms in schools, which, by the way, I thought was hilarious at the time, and I still think it's funny. And that's part of the reason why I think this is funny. But, and you, whose father is a teacher, I totally understand why you would be frustrated with that. But for me, it's like, kids are doing this because they are depraved of experiences like this. Because nobody goes bowling anymore. Nobody does anything anymore because our whole lives are on these screens. Everybody wastes their lives away on TikTok and Twitter and everything like that. And now they're getting to do something as a community that, yes, It's hooliganry. Yes, they're being hooligans and whatever. But I'm much more happy with kids these days going to movie theaters, and yes, inconveniencing the lives of movie theater workers, absolutely, and everything like that, rather than like doing drugs or doing graffiti or this or that. It's like, this is how these kids are being hooligans and causing riffraff nowadays. I'm more pro this than what they could be doing. Yeah, oh my gosh, they bought a bag of popcorn for $50, the biggest bag of popcorn they had at the theater, and they didn't eat any of it, they just threw it everywhere. Obviously, that's a pain in the butt, and that's ridiculous and everything like that, and I understand why you don't think it's funny, and I have seen videos that I have found very funny of that. So, but I do, that's how I feel about it. I really don't think that this is the big deal that you are making it out to be. I don't think that this is a net positive, but I don't think it's as negative as you do.
I can recognize the positive of a meme and encourage it, but also not encourage people being absolutely obnoxious and disrespectful to people who are just trying to do their jobs.
I totally understand that, but like,
and saying that it's a good thing so that they don't do drugs is quite a comparison. Like, obviously, I don't want people to do drugs, but I don't think the answer is they need to throw popcorn at each other during a movie.
Kids are always going to do things that piss off older people. That's why the word unk exists, right? It's like if somebody that is older than the age of 20.
This would have pissed me off when I was 15 too, just by the way.
Sure, but you've always been an unk. You have always been an unk. There's never been a time in your life
means
where
being respectful to service workers, then I'll be an unk.
And I don't disagree. And I've never.
But you do.
I've never done this. By the way, I want to make that very clear. I would never do this. I have never, right, there are kids that like go to restaurants and they eat and then leave. They don't pay, right? There are kids that obviously they do, kids are always going to do anti-establishment things. This is kind of the point of being a kid. I can say with full confidence that I never did anything like this. I can say with very full confidence that you never did anything like this. And I agree with that, and that's the life I lived, and I don't regret that and everything like that. But generally, kids, the 12 to 17 range is very anti-establishment. They want to cause havoc, whatever. And this is what they're going to do. And the fact that movie theaters, which have been struggling since COVID, are making money out of this. And the fact that it is helping movie studios market a movie that I know that you hated the movie and thought it was very, very bad. I didn't hate the movie. I kind of liked it, right? Like, I don't think that this is the worst thing in the world. And I didn't say
it was the worst thing in the world. Again, I said there's a way to do these memes without doing it like this.
But my point is that kids are going to do things that piss you off, that piss me off, that piss adults off, that piss everybody off. Cops are always going to be called on kids. When I was a kid, when I was like, I don't know, like 16, 17, 18 years old, probably before I was 18, kids at my school were really, really rich, and they would do these car meets. And the point of these car meets was to get the most souped up, expensive car, and they would do donuts, and people would be in the middle of the donut. Very dangerous. So many kids could have died. And what we would do is we would cause the most havoc in X amount of area. By the way, I didn't drive at this time. This is before I had my license, so I'm just riding along. But you cause X amount of damage to whatever area you're in until the cops come, and then it's super fun to run from the cops. That was the point of this thing. Wildly dangerous. Multiple people could have gotten killed. There could have been accidents. When people were running from the cops, they would drive 80, 90, 100 miles an hour, not on the highway, but like in residential neighborhoods, because we would do it there. Kids would do it there so that the cops would be called faster. Like legitimately, like some of the most dangerous activity ever. This Minecraft thing is way better than that, in my opinion.
Sure, obviously.
Of course.
But, like,
if this is how kids are being hooligans, kids are always going to be hooligans.
Yeah, kids are going to be hooligans. Yeah, and that's great. Being rebellious and doing things when you're young is important. And I'm not saying none of it should ever happen.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to praise this particular action as if it's a good thing. I can recognize positives coming out of negatives.
Yeah.
More people are going to see it. People are going to see the movie multiple times. That's great, but I don't think this is going to have like a lasting effect. Like, I don't think these kids care about movies. They care about being obnoxious.
Of course. But now their butts are in seats.
Just for Minecraft.
Sure, but that helps the movie theater because they bought the popcorn from the movie theater. They bought the soda and the
I don't think that's going to be a lasting effect.
No, of course not, but it helps now.
Again, I just said I can recognize the positives.
Yeah. Again, I don't think this is a net positive, but kids are going to be nasty no matter what. I would much rather this than kids going into movie theaters with knives and cutting holes in the projector.
What kind of argument is this? Because they're not being worse, what they're doing is like...
I'm not saying it's okay, and I'm not saying it's good. I am bringing up the positives. I am overall disagreeing with you, and I am disagreeing with you.
Then what are you disagreeing with me on?
You feel very strongly about this, and I think that's perfectly fine, but... I
don't want to use our platform to encourage people to be...
I'm not encouraging it. I'm just defending...
Then what do we disagree on?
I really don't think this is the worst thing in the world. And yeah, you just said you don't think it's the worst thing in the world ever either. So I guess we're not disagreeing. I very little of me has seen the videos online and thought about the negatives. And based on how you're speaking about it, I think that when you see the videos online, it's all the negatives in your head, which is fine.
No, I've always thought like, oh, there's so many people going to theaters. This is good. They're buying a lot of things. Mm-hmm. But like, that's not an excuse to be a douchebag. Like,
sure, but just kids are douchebags. Like it's fact. And I am.
Sure.
I think that this is one of the. Yes, this is affecting service workers. And I don't like when people are rude to service workers, especially because our roommate Zach is a server at a Cheesecake Factory and is...
Yeah, imagine Zach worked at a movie theater.
Awful. And the horror stories he comes home with are disgusting. And you and I and Angel listen to them, and we're always like, we're going to fight these people. I always say, well, they're going to get hit by a bus. Like, I hate the stories of people being rude and disrespectful
to service workers. But you don't hate this.
I get that this is being extremely rude and disrespectful to service workers, and I don't like it for that fact. And that is the main reason why I don't like this.
I don't think we disagree.
Exactly. But... I'm maybe looking at it slightly more positive because maybe I've had more experience with it, or I don't know what it is, but I have seen kids before do things that are so much worse for the world and they don't impact anything positively, that the little things that this impacts positively, which directly affects our business, I overall, I don't think it's, like I said, I don't think it's the worst.
Yes, there are examples of things that kids and people can do that are definitely worse. I.e. drugs, or driving 150 miles per hour through a residential neighborhood and potentially killing someone.
Yep.
Yes, there are things that are worse, but I just don't think that excuses being a douchebag in a theater. And I also can recognize that, this is helpful to the movie industry in terms of some monetary benefit if people are going to see the movies more. I just think there's things we should be encouraging and things we shouldn't be encouraging. I will encourage kids being hooligans and rebelling in certain ways, and that's good because kids are always going to do that, and that's part of life, and we've all done it and whatever. And I will encourage memes, and I will encourage dressing up in suits and ties to go see Minions and going to see it multiple times and going to see it with your friends and screaming when he says chicken jockey. I'm not going to encourage ever you being disrespectful to a service worker that's going to have to clean that up after you, ever.
I understand.
I don't think we have time to freaking do any of this. No. We're just going to do all of that on the Patreon.
Yeah.
But we're going to go to Daredevil now. Daredevil Born Again, episode 8.
We're on episode 8?
I think so. I titled last week's episode 8 and then cooked me because it was episode 7.
Okay, so episode 8 is this one. Okay.
That's my bad.
Here are our scores for episode 8 of Daredevil Born Again on 3. Mm-hmm. 3, 2, 1.
9.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's good.
So it was easily the best episode of the show so far for me.
Cool.
I was enraptured in all of it. I have been Mr. Critical of the new characters. Well, Kirsten has a wonderful moment at the start of this episode. Cherry gets a moment I don't hate. I thought everybody was good. The supporting characters. Daniel continues to impress me as one of my favorite characters. BB Urich had all of her best moments in this episode. Uh-huh. The police commissioner had a great moment. Uh-huh. The crooked cop that we all hate had another moment that makes us all hate him.
Crazy, by the way.
Every single new character I felt was good to great in this episode.
Yeah.
And the returning characters, let's just list them all. Matt Murdock, Daredevil. Wilson Fisk, Kingpin, and Vanessa were, obviously they're the highlights in the original show. They're the highlights in this episode. They were all fabulous. It was so great to see the return of Bullseye in epic fashion. Yep, we will get to that in a minute. And I am now so interested in where we're going.
Yeah, I've been interested the whole time, but I also, in this episode, that didn't change for me. I got to the end and I was like, this is how... I've said this about TV shows. I just don't want to watch the next episode. I struggle with that.
Yeah.
This show is making me want to watch the next episodes, and I think that's what makes it a good show. That's how you know you have a good show, is if people are wanting the next episodes. What happened to this thing?
I actually think I gave you mine.
Yeah, I don't like this.
We'll switch after. I've got no problem with mine.
This one isn't screwed in all the way.
Yeah.
It's wonky.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, I gave you mine. Sorry.
It's throwing me. You threw off my groove.
I'm sorry.
You get that reference?
No. I assume Emperor's New Groove?
Yes.
But I only know that from context clues.
Unbelievable. Yeah, so to your point, all the side characters in this episode are great, and like one of the complaints you and some people have had is that side characters aren't as good as some of the ones in the original.
They're still not.
Sure, that's fine, but like in my opinion, a lot of them are. I think BB has been interesting the whole time, and then she gets even better in this episode. I think Daniel has been interesting the whole time, and he gets even better in this episode. Some of them are not, like Kirsten and Cherry. But if everyone else in the show is interesting, and like the main points of the show, which are Fisk and Vanessa, their relationship, and Daredevil and Heather's relationship, and Daredevil, Matt's relationship with Daredevil, and Fisk's relationship with Kingpin, if all of that is 10 out of 10, and some of the side characters like BB and Daniel are also great, it just personally does not bother me that Cherry isn't also getting it. The only one that has bothered me that should have gotten more time is Muse. I will totally agree on that one. That one I'll give you, and I hope they somehow fix that. But yeah, this episode's great. I was interested the whole time, and obviously I'm interested to see what happens next. The way they shot some of the stuff at the end, the whole dance sequence with Matt and Heather and then Vanessa and Kingpin, where Kingpin's talking to him while they're dancing and he's using his power.
Love it.
And then that's how he figures out about Vanessa. And then he cuts in. Oh, just beautiful.
Love it.
Beautiful.
So good.
Heather and Matt are having some problems.
Does it surprise me? She is dead.
You think she's going to die?
100%. Heather is as dead as a doornail. I said it last episode. I will continue to say it until they kill her.
Well, you said Kingpin was going to kill Vanessa, too.
I did, and I don't think he's going to anymore, which is fine. It was a theory I had.
Oh, we got to talk about... Okay, sorry.
No, we will get to it. There's a lot of stuff. This will be our longest review of an episode of Daredevil, because there is just so much to talk about, that we have so much to unpack. What would you like to start with?
So, yeah, let's talk about the Vanessa, Adam, Kingpin thing.
Yes.
So, one of the complaints at the beginning that you had was Kingpin wasn't Kingpin. I obviously disagreed. He's obviously at least somewhat back. There's still some of him, whatever. But, like, him torturing and keeping this Adam guy, what are the complaints? I'm not going to kill him. He's in couples therapy. That's not Kingpin. He literally is like, I kept my word. I didn't kill him. I just kept him in this dungeon for so long. And I've always said Vanessa loves when he's like this. As soon as he was taking her down there, I was like, oh, she's going to eat this up. And I was like, she's going to kill him. And that's exactly what happened.
I also called that as well. Yeah, of course.
Because that's what she likes. She's totally killed this side chick dude if you're being Kingpin, you know what I mean?
And now she is more attracted to him, like season 3. And that's how she's acting at the dance.
And in the couples, she goes to Heather and she's like, we
you're
figured it out. And there's always been parallels between them and Heather and Matt, and obviously Kingpin and Daredevil and Matt and Fisk and all that stuff. So the fact that they figured out their couple situation at the same time Matt and Heather are having fights, cool. Very interesting.
Yes, I like it a lot.
I
loved Matt's reaction to Buck coming with the invite personally. I loved that scene. It was my favorite scene from the Matt and Heather relationship all season, because of course he would react like he's only hired you as a therapist to get to me. Of course he would react that way, and of course her not knowing that he's Daredevil would be like, are you psycho? Like, I loved that. I thought that was great.
It's tough. He can't really explain why. He's just like, you got to trust me. And the fact that they're having all these other problems, she's just not going to right now.
She's like, you're a drug addict.
Yeah, she's like, well, this is not about you. And he's like, it totally is. But also the fact that she really pissed me off this episode, comparing Daredevil to Muse. Frick you. You would not be alive. Okay, Muse killed 61 people and used their blood in paintings, and Daredevil saved your life, and you're going to act like they're the same person? Frick you. frick you. And that must suck for Matt, by the way.
That
really annoyed me.
I was like, whoa, that's mean.
Oh, and okay, when he goes back to Josie's bar.
Yeah.
And Cherry's there being a moron like Cherry does.
Of course.
But then he starts to figure out
that was my favorite moment of the whole season.
That
and
Foggy.
I don't know what any of that means. Like when it showed Kirsten, I was like, Kirsten killed Foggy.
I said, you'll see it in my reaction. I was like, is Kirsten evil?
And Rachel's like, no. Like, we're going to the next scene. And Rachel's like, no. Pause. Explain to me why you're freaking out. Explain to me what happened. And I'm like, I don't know what happened, but it's the first time that I've been interested in this show in a month. Because, not actually, but it's the most interested I've been in the shows the entire time. Because, again, I've been saying this since episode 1. You need such a good reason for Bullseye to kill Foggy. Because, now I've seen this theory a little bit, is that Bullseye's just being petty because Foggy does dupe him and beat him in season 3 with the selfie that he takes in season 3. But it was like, I don't know if he's killing him over that.
Someone even said that this episode. They were like, this guy was just settling a score. He was crazy. Like, it was Kirsten
But it doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's not a good enough explanation.
That's not a good... And when they said that, I was upset. But then he's at the bar, and he's realizing, I don't know what it means that he was drinking something different. I don't know what this means. But... it means that Bullseye, and now we know Vanessa, killed Foggy for a reason. And I guarantee you, Vanessa didn't kill him because of Matt.
No.
Which is so good.
They said Matt is starting to realize, because he's drinking this thing, that he's celebrating the case that he's about to win. So whoever that guy was on the phone that Bullseye killed... was going to help him win a case that was somehow connected to Vanessa or something.
Yes.
And as soon as they brought it up, when the little guy comes over, he's like, Bullseye escaped. You could see how worried Vanessa was.
Yes.
Yes, it's all good. It's all good. So I literally, when Matt was like, he wasn't drinking that. And then you're like, and then it starts the ball rolling of like, oh, we're about to start figuring this out. And I literally got chills. I was like, yes. Because people were worried that that Fox, and that's why I always said, just like wait and watch the rest of the show. Again, they might not have a good enough explanation.
Correct.
But they are tying it together. They started the show with this, and then they're going to end the show with this. I think that's really cool.
It is really cool. But again, it is frustrating that this could have been the whole show. And obviously, as you know, for me, I'm not a big fan of a lot of the stuff in the middle, and I'm certainly not a fan at the start. So it is frustrating to me. It's like this is the most interesting stuff in the show for me by far, and for you it seems to be very interesting. Maybe you found other Muse stuff more interesting, but you didn't love how that resolved. It's just like, God, this is what we could have been doing the whole time. But I give this show so much grace because of the overhaul. And this is a different creative team that made this episode and the first 2 episodes than the rest of the show.
Yeah, obviously I found all of it interesting. I think the Muse stuff was really interesting. And the way that they're using both Fisk and Muse and Daredevil to tell the story of Foggy and to tell the story of Fisk and Matt being born again, I think it has all been very interesting. Yeah, obviously they could have been doing this the whole show. I think they're somewhat using this to introduce Muse, and then maybe they'll do more with him in season 2, because obviously he's confirmed somehow, I don't know, for season 2. But using him in the middle as kind of a placeholder, and then that's his introduction, and then doing more with him in season 2, I think would be really, really cool. And then bookending the season with Foggy death and then why Foggy died. I think all of that is, I'm fine with all of that. Yeah.
About the confirming Muse for season 2, I've also seen that. I've also seen that they've confirmed both Karen and Foggy to return. I know that we have on-set leaked photos of Deborah Ann Wool as Karen back. Great. I guess Foggy in flashbacks or he faked his death. Doesn't matter to me. We'll see how that goes. Matthew Lillard has been confirmed for season 2. Is there any chance that he is a copycat Muse with the actual powers? I think that would be great.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Matthew.
That would be great casting. But we'll see. He might just be an adversarial lawyer. We have no idea.
Yeah.
But obviously there's much more for us to talk about in this episode. Obviously we've been getting into spoilers, but obviously spoiler warning as always for Daredevil Born Again. The tooth.
Yeah.
Loved that.
As soon as you heard the noise, I was like, oh, this guy's dead. I loved it.
As Rachel is my witness, as soon as he slammed his head against the table, I thought, nope, that's bad. That's bad. And then obviously...
So Bullseye's Poindexter's plan was to like get Matt to help him get out or be safe, because he was like, if you get me out, I'll tell you. That's kind of a long shot. That's what he said.
Yeah. I chalk it up to him.
He's scared.
Him just trying to get out.
Yeah.
Like trying anything to get out.
Yeah.
But as soon as he gets lifted up from getting his head smashed in the table, he's smiling and it's like, thank you, Matt. So clearly the tooth broke there.
Yeah.
So, love that.
Yeah, no. Perfect use of his powers.
Awesome use of his powers. How did you feel about Wilson Bethel's performance in this episode?
Fine, what do you mean?
It was a tad different than I had expected. He was a little bit more grounded. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Less crazy than I feel like he usually is.
Yeah, sure.
Right, and they did his deranged so perfectly in the first episode with the fixing of the light bulb and the killing of the fly and then the score. I didn't really get that, and I feel like even when they were putting him from solitary confinement into Gen Pop, he was like a little too scared for me. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Like he was a little bit like,
I'm not supposed to be here.
I'm not supposed to be here. Like a little bit too much like that, where it's like, I don't.
So, yeah, sure. Anything else about that?
No, go.
In this episode,
yes,
he is trying to shoot someone.
Yes,
and that someone is Fisk.
Yes.
Obviously, he tries to like kill him in season 3, right?
Yes.
So is it just the same reason? Like, why is that his first thought is to break out and kill him?
Yeah.
Like,
so to me, I think it's pretty clear.
Also, Mayor Fisk obviously was the one who transferred him to try to get him killed.
Right. So to me, it's pretty clear, which is Ashley or whatever her name was, Madison something, the girl from season 3
that he's obsessed with.
That's his North Star.
Right.
And Fisk killed her. Right.
Yeah.
That's enough for a deranged person like Bullseye to go after Fisk until Fisk is dead. That makes perfect sense to me. And I loved that this is now the second time that he has crashed a party hosted by Fisk and Vanessa. That fun and tried to kill them. Fun. I like that. Right. I think he was clearly trying to kill Fisk because of the girl from season 3 and the fact that now Fisk has tried to get him killed multiple times. Fisk did break his back, which is why the adamantium is in his skeleton, and which we haven't seen yet, but I imagine causes him pain. And then same thing with now moving him into Gen Pop. Specifically, Mayor Fisk did that. He's trying to get revenge for that as well. And I assume he was planning on killing Fisk and then Vanessa. Right? I didn't even think twice that he would have killed both of them.
I thought he was going to just kill Vanessa.
Frankly, yes. I thought he was going to kill Vanessa, which would have been awesome. But also, I thought he was going to kill Heather.
Yeah.
Because Kingpin was dancing with Heather.
Yep.
And I thought he would see the person Fisk is dancing with and kill her. Just bang.
Yeah.
I thought that's what was going to happen. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we're talking about it. What do you think about Matt jumping in the way?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, why was it to save? Like, I need to go back and watch it. Was he trying to like pull Heather out of the way, and then he just got in the way? Was he like trying to save Fisk? Was it just like a reactionary thing? I didn't really think about it too deeply.
Yeah,
just happened.
Yeah.
What do you think?
The best explanation we can get is he's not trying to save Fisk, but he's trying to get more information out of Fisk. Maybe, but otherwise I don't really understand it. I think it's a great cliffhanger, and I'm very excited to see what happens, and I'm sure he's going to die. And then obviously he's going to be brought back to life and hence born again. Right. He's definitely going to flatline, 100%. He got shot in the same place that Foggy did, and that's going to make for a great scene. Maybe
did he?
Yeah.
I thought it was way more shouldery.
No, he's cooked. He's dead. He's 100% dead. But they're going to resuscitate him, and there's going to be some Foggy scene. He's going to see Foggy. It's going to be wonderful. I'm just interested. It was a fun cliffhanger, but it is the most puzzling part of the episode for me. You with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't care. I've enjoyed it. I enjoyed that episode so much. Like I'm not saying that's a negative. It's just puzzling to me. That's a question I need answered. For sure.
Another part of the episode that I really, really liked was Matt talking to Kirsten in the hallway and him just like going off. Because it was like, yeah, like this is such a great monologue recap of what this guy's been through after he just went off on this guy for lying. And he was just like, it describes the whole season pretty much why Daredevil is needed and why, you know, we put Fisk away and it didn't matter. We put Poindexter and now he's in Gin Pop and we don't know what's going to happen with that. And, you know, we saved Hector Ayala, but it didn't stop him from getting shot, which are the same cops who are on this task force who are also breaking all these laws. Yep. And it was just like, yeah, you're so right. And we're not serving justice, we're babysitting chaos. Banger line. I really liked that monologue. And poor Kirsten is having to deal with a really effed up Matt right now. And so is Heather. But it was a good representation of what he's gone through this season and what the story is with him.
I was a tad frustrated with him in that monologue, though. While I agree with everything that you're saying, and of course the frustration has boiled to a point in that scene, I was just like, come on, Matt, we need to pay the firm's bills. Like, just don't tell this guy he's lying to his face right now, please.
Guy's scamming teachers. I don't freaking care.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's effed up.
Yeah. No, great episode.
Really good episode.
One more. I'm going to be so sad. I'm going to be so sad.
Yeah, but they're filming season 2 right now.
I know, but I'm going to be so sad.
2027 is getting crazier by the millisecond.
I've got to wait a year and a half.
We got Daredevil Born Again season 2. Avengers Secret Wars.
Beyond
the Spider-Verse are all 2027. So, frig. I thought that was going to be our off year. We were going to be able to relax.
Good stuff. Glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's between this or the bank heist episode for my favorite, but I think it's clearly this one. Even though I guess that episode was like cleaner, this episode, it just from start to finish, everything intrigued me, everything excited me, and I too am upset that the show is ending next week. The season is ending next week, but there are quite a few of unresolved threads, and I am at a point where I'm like, what's going to remain unresolved for next season? There's no way we get an explanation for Foggy next episode.
Why not?
Because you have to resuscitate Daredevil. You got to resuscitate Daredevil, and then you got to take down the task force. There's no way the task force is going to be the overarching threat.
You don't think they could? They start the explanation in this episode and then they finish it in the next episode, and that's how they end the season?
Maybe. That would be great, but then you're leaving... I guess the Muse thread isn't unsettled, but you and I both think it's going to be something else?
I think that might be a cliffhanger that leads into...
Season 2.
Yeah. I think the main thing... I don't think the task force is like a whole storyline that has to be resolved. I think that's just part of Fisk being evil. I think one thing that... Well, in conjunction with that, I think, the Frank Castle...
Yeah.
I think that's the only one that really is like, I guess we might have to wait on that, and that's a little annoying, but everything else.
I think we're going to be waiting on some stuff. Because how long are these episodes? This was the longest episode. It was 50 minutes, right? So it's like...
Flew by the way.
Yeah, I think so too. But it was like, I don't know how much they're going to be able to fit into the next episode that's going to...
Yeah, I think they'll probably focus on the Foggy Poindexter thing. And then like Frank's gonna show up, and then we're gonna take down the task force. Really?
I think so.
That'd be cool.
Like I would be so much more surprised
if he doesn't.
I would be more surprised if Frank doesn't show up to take the task force down than if Bullseye isn't in episode 9 at all. I'd be more surprised if Frank wasn't in the episode than Bullseye. I kind of feel like that thread is a thread for next season. Because this is the overhaul team. You got to consider that. Like, this episode was an overhaul episode. This entire episode was shot like 6 months ago, when the rest of the show was shot like a year and a half to 2 years ago. Like, Muse and all that, and Kirsten, everything with them is from before. This is all new stuff that they've added.
Maybe.
So my point is it's like that team they don't want to rush Bullseye, Vanessa, Kingpin, which frankly, I don't want them to rush that. They're going to conclude all of the storylines that I didn't really care about, that you loved, no problem, I'm happy for you. But all the storylines that I didn't care about and many Daredevil fans didn't care about because they didn't feel like the same show to us. And then the same show will be back with season 2 is what I'm expecting. I could be wrong. I've been wrong a bunch. I thought Kingpin was going to kill Vanessa. I thought plenty of things were going to happen that didn't happen. I didn't think they had the balls to kill Foggy when that was a rumor. I was like, there's no way they're going to kill Foggy. And then they did. So, I could be totally wrong, but that's my theory. It's my job to give my theory, and that's my theory. What's your theory? What do you think is happening next episode? You got to put $100 on roulette.
Well, I just did that a lot, and it didn't work out for me.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, I think there's some sort of cliffhanger with Muse.
Maybe. I kind of think he's done.
I think they'll wrap everything else up, and then it's kind of one of those things where it's like, oh, the episode's over, and then we'll get
after credits or something.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I think maybe just to. So you're thinking it's Frank. I'll go. I think it's more Bullseye and the Foggy reveal.
So good. Oh, I want you to be
and
right.
Vanessa. And I think Vanessa. I think her reasoning for it might be a little shady, even to Fisk. I think that might. I don't know.
Interesting. You think that causes a riff?
Yeah, because she did it without telling him.
But he was MIA.
You're right. We'll see.
I'm interested. And it solves so many problems. By the way, that conversation solved so many problems that I had with this show. It wouldn't make any sense for Fisk to hire Bullseye because he killed Ashley or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
And like Vanessa, either she could say she's not associated with Fisk at all or whatever. She could give any reason for killing Foggy. And if she's not killing Foggy because of Matt, that also solves that problem. It's just so good. That's so perfect.
Yes.
That case, you need a good explanation for the case. Now, is that guy dead? I don't think that guy was dead. I don't think that guy's dead.
The guy that was in Foggy's apartment?
Mm-hmm.
Is that not the whole point?
You remember he calls
Foggy?
Foggy.
They didn't show it, but like he breaks in, he's freaking out, he breaks in and you hear like crashes and stuff.
Correct, but then he calls Foggy and he's like, I'm so sorry, Foggy, I told him where you were. He says that to Foggy right before Foggy dies.
Oh, yeah, he was using that guy to get to Foggy.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I don't think that guy is
no,
the guy
yeah,
that
you're
mattered.
right. You're right.
But
you're
that
right,
guy is definitely involved with the Vanessa thing,
right?
Which would have put Vanessa away or something, which is really exciting.
Or maybe he's not. Maybe Foggy was celebrating a different case. And this guy and Bullseye only used this guy to find out where Foggy was, and he doesn't have anything to do with Vanessa. That's possible.
Also true. But then another case that Foggy did had to do with
Correct.
Vanessa.
Correct.
I don't care.
Dude, she shot Adam in the head.
Yeah.
Excellent.
No, that was good. And then immediately to cut to Rabbit in a Snowstorm, and then immediately cut to them embracing with him in the middle. Great. All that's great. So good.
They're freaky, dude. That makeup sex was crazy after she
100%.
shot him in the head.
I was going to say...
He's like, I cannot be if I'm not with you or whatever. I was like, dang. Shot him in the head.
I was going to say he beats the shit out of her, but no. She beats the shit out of him.
Yeah.
100%.
And he's into it.
She's
into it.
She's in a black leather thing, and she's just kicking him in the balls a bunch of times.
He's only got thing for his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
After she killed, that's the best they've ever had.
I agree.
Yeah. Good for them. Happy for Fisk. Happy for him.
I'm rooting for that guy. How do you think their relationship is going to be now that Matt saved his life?
Whose relationship?
Kingpin and Daredevil. I love that. This is great. That's so good. You don't like that?
No, I just didn't think about it. It'd be
interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, well, you let us know what you think about episode 8 of Daredevil Born Again. And number one thing, please let us know your theories. What do you guys think is going to be happening? I'm very interested to see what happens, and obviously so are you.
As am I, Robert.